Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie. I'm a media director at BizTech, and today I'm here with...
I'm Mikayla. I'm going into my 5th year at UBC, and I am the internal lead at BizTech.
Awesome. So we're going to delve into a little bit of her experiences in terms of her internship at EA. So first question, can you walk us through your path into data and how you landed your internship?
Yeah, so funny story, I actually started in biochemistry.
You did?
I did.
Oh my gosh!
I thought I was going to go into pre-med, and then kind of halfway through my 2nd year, I was like, okay, this isn't really for me. So I wanted to try something new, and data is something that kind of popped out for me. From then on, I switched into stats within sciences, and then, continued taking those courses and just tried to grind SQL and Python and everything, and here we are.
Wow, biochem is crazy. Oh my gosh.
It's a switch up.
Yeah, I almost went into sciences, switched to business,
Really?
so yeah.
That's probably a good idea.
That 180.
There's a good idea.
So how did your roles in BizTech, specifically as data lead and now internal lead, how did those roles help shape your career interests?
So actually I think it was my role in my 1st year in BizTech, which was as an experiences director. And there I was running an event for design, and I really learned about collaborating with people across different teams and learning about what goes into planning, things like that. And I think that's pretty similar to creating a presentation for data and talking to stakeholders and everything like that. So I really enjoyed that collaboration aspect. And then moving on with data lead, I wanted to get some more experience that was related to data under my belt. So I think in that role, it was really fun creating presentations and really learning how to use different tools to visualize the data and tell a story to the team. And I think that ultimately really helped me when it came to finding internships related to that.
Oh, that's awesome. Would you say there's any skills that you took from those roles that helped you find your internship?
I think definitely working with SQL or I guess in SQL we didn't really use it in BizTech, but we worked with Excel a lot. We did a lot of visualizations in Excel, and we also built out presentations for our stakeholders at the time, which would have been the experiences team, the partnerships team, things like that. And so I think the skills I got from that was definitely really helpful.
That's awesome. Kind of transitioning into how you process and kind of prepared for your internship role. What was the most helpful thing you did when preparing for internship applications and interviews? There's a lot of people currently going through that process. I'm going through that process. Do you have any words of wisdom for us?
Oh my god. Just keep doing it. Honestly, I feel applying for internships is always a little bit traumatic because you're just grinding every day, and I think especially myself, I'm always oh my gosh, is this worth it in the end? Am I actually going to land that dream role? And I think honestly, consistency is key. I think it's easier to think about each interview, each step as something that you're gaining. So rather than only seeing your end goal, you're kind of thinking about as I'm going through this process of applying, I'm learning a lot about whether it's leak code problems that you're practicing, or if it's learning how to talk about yourself and convince other people that you're a good fit. I think those are all really key skills that you learn during the process.
Do you have any tips for dealing with rejection? Because obviously rejection is a huge part of the process, and I feel a lot of people can feel very discouraged by that.
Yeah, well, I faced countless rejection in my life, specifically job related. I think it's always tough in the moment, but I think have confidence in yourself. And there's a reason why things don't really happen or go the way you want them to. When it comes to rejection, I don't try to take it personally. I think it's just it wasn't the right fit for me. There must have been somebody else who was just a better fit for the position, and my time will come for whatever I'm looking for.
Yeah, so it's just kind of shifting your perspective, and taking a step back and realizing it's not all about you.
Yeah, and it's easier if you do it like that, because otherwise you kind of get caught in your head and you don't want to beat yourself up over it. Yeah, so try to keep your head up.
Awesome advice. Thank you so much. Do you have any tools, resources, or programs you recommend for students looking to build their data or tech portfolio?
Well, I think specifically for data, I really like using the SQL 50 questions on 𝘿𝙧𝙧𝙗. That's what I started practicing SQL with. And then I moved on to something called Data Lemur, which is just this other platform that tests you a bunch of querying questions. I think what's also really helpful is paying attention in your analytics classes. So like when you're doing classes that are like teaching you about how to use R or Python and like you're analyzing some sort of generic data, like I think those intro classes are actually really valuable because it builds the foundation for the knowledge you need to grow and like actually teach yourself afterwards. I also think I used a little bit of Kaggle like when I was starting off, which is this online platform. It has a bunch of available data sets for you to use, and you can just download them and kind of play around with whatever Python R library you want, and just like try to learn how to make the analytics yourself. But yeah, I'd say those are the things I use. And then for tech in general, I mean, I can't speak for myself, but I know like a lot of people interested in software engineering obviously use LeetCode. So yeah, I'd probably talk to a Swede if I wanted to learn more about that though.
Okay, awesome. And kind of throwing it back to your first and second year, when you, I guess, didn't have as much experience, you were in biochem, so obviously didn't have much experience in tech.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions or recommendations for people in their first or second year who don't necessarily have as much experience? How do you give any tips for standing out to like job recruiters?
Oh, honestly, I feel like with every single role, you always need a little bit of luck on your side to be like selected for a job. And like, I think to really get yourself out there, honestly, joining clubs like BizTech, or you know, there's a bunch of like amazing organizations that UBC has. And I think just getting your foot in the door, mingling with people who are interested in the same industry, really helps you understand like how the industry works, helps you to, you know, recruiters or just like people who are currently working, and it just kind of broadens your horizons in that, and you're able to have a larger impact. So yeah, I really recommend like joining communities at university.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Kind of shifting to, I guess, clubs and career alignment, how did involvement in clubs like BizTech help you discover your niche in tech?
BizTech honestly really transformed my university experience and also just like finding a job. I think like with BizTech, it really helped me build my resume and like make it stronger. Because only having like your coursework on there or like some projects on there, I mean, I think it's really great to have. But I think recruiters really look for, especially if you're a student, they really look for people who are participating in activities going on in the community. They want to see you like putting yourself out there, trying new things, challenging yourself. So I think, yeah, being on BizTech, especially in these different roles, definitely helps me like broaden and strengthen my resume in that way.
Awesome. What types of club roles or tasks helped you develop your, I guess, job-ready skills, or helped you prepare yourself for like, the real job experience?
I think the thing that really helped was honestly pitching my event when I was in BizTech as an experiences director. Like we had to talk to all the leads, and I remember I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god, like they're gonna judge me for what I'm gonna say. But I think learning to be confident in your own ideas and like knowing like I worked hard on this, like I know that this is going to be a great event. That really helped me like just gain confidence. And I think especially when you're interviewing, it's a really similar feeling where it's like, oh, you know, like I have confidence in my own skills and like I do truly believe I'm a good fit, but whether or not I can articulate that to the person who's interviewing me is another question, right? So I think like putting yourself in those shoes more often can definitely help. And I think in BizTech, because that's one of the most memorable clubs that I've been in throughout university, I think in BizTech you're put in those situations a lot where you have to make like quick decisions, and you have like people often come to you with questions and things like that. And so if you have confidence in yourself, it's like you're able to perform better.
Do you have any tips for someone who's really struggling with their confidence? I know you mentioned exposing yourself more frequently to those opportunities. Do you have any other tips surrounding that? Because I know confidence can be, it's a big determining factor when it comes to pitching yourself and doing it with success. Well, you come across me as a very confident person.
Really?
You do. Even like the first time I met you like on Zoom, you came across as a very approachable, confident person. That's why it's like so easy to talk to you.
You as well.
Thank you so much. So I guess what do you think shaped you so that you could, you know, become confident, you know, carry yourself with so much?
I think it's because, okay, I see where we're going now. I think it's because like when I was switching from biochem to stats, it was something that was really daunting for me. I was like, I don't really know if I'm gonna get into stats. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen afterwards, but if I don't like it, like A, B, C, D, whatever. And I think in that moment, because I chose to pursue what I wanted at the time, and I kind of chose to take on the risk, I think that definitely helped me with my confidence, because I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't made that decision. I could be like, I don't know, maybe in med school, maybe not, who knows? But I think the matter is that I took that first step, and I think that's always the hardest thing to do. But if you just trust yourself in that moment and like just know that things will work out in the end, I think over time you'll become more and more comfortable with taking those first steps and like taking these risks. And then you're always placing yourself outside of your comfort zone. And the more you place yourself outside your comfort zone, the more you expand your experience. And I think overall that helps you build your confidence over time.
Yeah.
Thanks, good answer.
Do you think being active in clubs like BizTech, made you a stronger candidate to recruiters?
I think so, yeah. I think specifically with EA, I think it was nice that I was in BizTech because at the time we were working with EA as a sponsor for MIS Night and for some of the other events. And so I think at the time the recruiter definitely knew what BizTech was. And I really like to reflect on like my experiences in the club, especially when I'm interviewing, because I think there's a lot of soft skills that I've been able to learn while being on the team. And so yeah, I strongly encourage you to join a club, whether it's BizTech or something else at the university. I think you'll learn a lot just like simply being around people who are super motivated and like want to achieve big things like you do.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I guess shifting to blueprint and sort of and more advice. So this year, a lot of our events, Blueprint as well, are centered around finding your path in tech. What advice would you give to someone still figuring that out?
Okay, I would say that one, I hear you, because there's so much going on in tech right now, like not just with AI, with product, with like everyone building a startup, like there's so much going on. So I understand that you can be overwhelmed, and like just me, I am too. But I think really take your time to try out the different areas that tech can offer. It's such a broad industry, and you'll really find your niche. Like when I first started out, I was looking at like Excel sheets like every single day, 8 hours a day. That was like my first internship. And I think from that, I really learned what I like and maybe what's not really the right fit for me. And it wasn't until like deeper into my second internship where I discovered that I really love product. But I wouldn't have gotten there if I hadn't tried out the things that I did in the past. So I would say like that, take your time, try out different things, even if you're unsure whether you like it. You're never wasting your time. You're just filtering out the things that you know you're not really interested in, and you're able to get closer and closer to truly what you're passionate about.
You briefly mentioned this, I guess, in earlier questions, but kind of, I guess, centering it more around tech. What's one small step first years or career pivoters, as you experienced yourself, can take today to explore tech roles more confidently?
I mean, I think the easiest way for you to learn about different roles is to coffee chat. I think you get this advice a lot, I'm sure, but I think really thinking about who you want to coffee chat is important. I think it's easy to get stuck in the cycle of like trying to coffee chat as many people as you can, and I think for some people it definitely does work. But for someone like myself, I think I really just want to invest my time and energy into somebody that I'm truly interested in learning what they do, and I think that I find their work really inspiring. So I like to be a little bit more picky when it comes to like who I'm going to reach out to. And I think when you're more interested in the person that you're hoping to coffee chat, they can sense it too in your message because you're crafting something that's perhaps a little bit more personal. And that'll just make your coffee chatting experience a lot better as well, because you're really going to be curious about the kind of questions you're asking rather than kind of like trying to think of things on the spot.
Do you have any advice regarding, I guess, coffee chats and approaching that? Especially, I remember being in first year, coffee chats were the most terrifying thing. It's like, what do you mean I have to hold a conversation for 30 minutes?
I know.
Do you have any advice for that?
Definitely come prepared with like maybe 3 to 5 questions in mind, depending on like how generic they are. And then I think just like don't start off the coffee chat immediately jumping into your questions. Like then start off by saying like, hey, how are you? Like, how's your day going? Introduce yourself, like who you are, what's your background, why you want to chat with them today. Like treat them like a person. I think it's like when you're coffee chatting people, I like to treat it more as like I'm just getting to know you and you're getting to know me. and we are just having this casual conversation just surrounding career. I think it's easy to get kind of nervous when you're coffee chatting someone, especially if they're in like a super cool company that you want to work for or something. But know that they're always here to promote your growth, and they always are here to teach you something. So yeah, never be shy, and like definitely ask any questions that you're interested in.
How big of a role did coffee chatting play in getting your internships?
Wait, low-key, like not that much. It's actually so funny. Like low-key, not at all. Maybe
Close to none. Cut.
No, okay, no. Actually, like there was. Okay, wait. This is not like on the record, but there was like one interview process that I got because I like met some guy at a BizTech event. But I don't know if that's we didn't really. I guess we coffee chat, but it's more so like we were just like chatting. Like we didn't have like structured coffee chats, you know.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying.
I don't know if that would like.
So I guess just forming those connections.
Yeah. But I don't. Coffee chat.
Coffee chat, guys. Valuable, I promise.
I promise.
Do you have like a really memorable coffee chat you went on?
Oh. No.
Not really.
No, I feel like. Oh my god, I can like pretend I did.
No, don't pretend.
I don't think so.
Or like a cool person you really looked up to?
I don't have like someone I've actually chatted with, but I do have like online creators that I really look up to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's like I think I'm actually gonna coffee chat one of them soon.
Oh.
But
What do you mean by online creators? Like
YouTubers.
Oh, cool.
Like, like
You're gonna coffee chat a YouTuber?
Yes.
That's so
because
cool.
She is like she works at the same company that one of my initial friends work at, so they connected me. So after that, I could have answered your question, but I have not coffee chatted her.
That coffee chat in the future will be a memorable one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, I wish I could answer.
No, don't worry.
I'm actually not a huge coffee chatter. I only do it when I'm like, okay, yeah.
I mean, one thing I will say about coffee chats is I feel like it saves you time because you're learning from other people's mistakes and other people's experiences.
That's true. I think it's like, rather than one coffee chat like really standing out for me, I think it's more so that I coffee chat because over time I'm forcing myself to be like a little bit uncomfortable, right? And like over time you kind of just start to build that confidence and like asking people questions in like a certain amount of time, and like you're learning how to kind of think on the spot, and you're kind of thinking of, you know, as you approach each coffee chat, you're thinking like, what do I want to get out of this? Like, is there something I want to learn? And so yeah, over time, like within the 1 or 2 years that I've been coffee chatting, it's like I think it's the accumulation and that repetitiveness of all those coffee chats that's like really helped me, rather than like a single one that stands out.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It comes back to what you were saying about taking risks and like stepping out of your comfort zone, which helped you build your confidence over time.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't think anyone is like born and they're like, wow, I just love coffee chatting.
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like, and if you do, like, that's awesome. But like I think for most people it's something that's a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, like the more you kind of like force yourself to like enter those situations, I think the better you get at them. I don't think I'm like a pro coffee chatter, but like I've definitely improved, I think, from my first one. Oh my gosh, wait, sorry, this is like not related.
Go for it.
But my first coffee chat was actually with this BizTecher.
Oh.
His name is Gad, and he was the data lead at the time. And I was just transitioning out of biochem. And so a friend was like, oh, you should coffee chat him because he works at Samsung right now. Like, he's a business analyst intern, and you could like talk to him. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh my god, like he's gonna judge me, like this is gonna be so bad. But then I realized like they were all in our shoes at some point. Like everyone's been there, everyone kind of gets it. But anyways, I just think that's really funny. Like,
No, for sure. But I think a lot of the times they want to help. They want to like reach out. They want you to reach out.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's just like a matter of taking that first step and just being a little uncomfortable for a little bit.
For a little bit, and then you'll like think yourself later.
Exactly. I guess shifting more towards the future, where do you foresee yourself going after you graduate? I know you graduate very soon.
I graduate very soon, in like a year, or like less than a year, which is crazy. I think I definitely still see myself being in a product space. Right now I'm a data analyst intern, so I hope to pursue that data side. I'm interested in data science as well, but I think like honestly, I don't really have it all figured out yet. I know I want to explore products, I know I'm interested in data, but I kind of just want to see like where this year takes me, how I'm liking my current internship, and then kind of make that decision later on in the year to see like, do I want to like continue down the path that I'm currently going down, or is there something else that opens up later in the year that like kind of changes my mind?
Yeah. What drew you to data? I'm curious.
Okay, I like math.
Oh wow, hot take. Hot take.
Hot take. But I'm not good at it.
Oh.
Like I'm like my grades are not.
So that means you really like it.
Like I just like it.
Wow.
I just think it's like cool. Yeah.
Wow.
So, but I was like, if I do a degree in math, I feel like it's not as applicable for the kind of roles I want to look for, because I want something that's more like businessy as well. And I think if you just do straight math, sometimes you kind of narrow the career options. I mean, in this day and age, who knows?
Yeah.
But like that was what I thought at the time. So I was like, okay, closest thing to math is stats. And that's what drew me there.
Wow. So math is what did it for you.
And I watched this YouTuber called 𝗿𝙖𝙩𝙬 and she's at the time she was a data scientist at Spotify, and I didn't just watch her for that. She also had great fashion, but she was like the biggest creator who influenced me. So
Wow.
I was like, okay.
She's a YouTuber?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should watch her.
I've been looking for new YouTubers. This is good.
She's good.
Okay, noted. It's kind of all the questions that I have for you today.
Okay.
So thank you so much for joining us today for today's. Whoa, I said today a lot of times.
I think I lost 5 minutes on this card because of this outro.
I fixed my hair. I'm like in shambles now. Okay, we're fine. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of BizCast. Thank you again, Mikayla, for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Do you have any last parting words before we close?
Please join BizTech. We're hiring in September. You will see me at the booth. I am in 𝗘𝗽𝗶𝘆, so I'm so excited to meet all of you. Thank you so much for having me today, Steph. I had a great time. And to anyone watching, go play FC26 when it launches in September.
Yeah. Bye. Close.
Oh my God. This is why I don't want to do this.